Yes, we are live. Yeah, I'm so excited. I've had some I've been get some problem there, you're going live. And I don't go live since 6 o'clock, but obviously Baku problem. However, better late than never. So here we are live, Fambulem, we are live. So quick apologies for the lateness, 34 minutes late, technical issues, of course, and still get some of the technical issues. So can I use this opportunity to apologize to Fambulem? Um, the lighting is really bad, and people are not they complain about this. My lighting is bad, and sometimes my audio, but mostly my lighting. So the studio change. Obviously, always they get this problem anyway because I get issues with the internet. But the studio now mobile studio. So every time you change because you do some upgrade or update, and therefore it gets some effect. So it's not stagnant, it's not stable. So it will take a while again for let me get around with this. So yes, so then one day we complain about the quality of my video. I apologize to Una. Hopefully pretty soon we'll get them right. And the audio, I believe say the audio level not too bad as it been a B before. But today is a very, very special one. Very special one. I'm excited because I've been filtering the program that they go on. And this is going to be short upon me sooner. Really, really short program. And this is not the TNN TV Media Empire. Today, not the 23rd of February 2023. Me where they talk to one, and I've been in Prince Emil Coma. And we talk about the attributes or qualities of statesmanship. And then there's a subtopic in which we ask the question, JMB, that is the initial for we current president, His Excellency Julius Marabio. No offense meant, and I think say we normally can call on that. But of course, this is just a caption, and you're not able to put the entire name, including in title, and it's just a caption, an intro, the bar and column. So JMB meaning President Julius Marabio. Is this the beginning of the end? So it's an analysis based on information, data, and statistics. And hopefully we will try and see whether we're able to show some videos then both in the past and the present. But we'll get much for talk about in a compact way for a short broadcast. Like I say, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. So at the ask una, please do not touch that dial because this now the then and now TV Media Empire, which is the hub of the conversation where you can find quality news. So, family, once again, I bring you massive greetings from the TNN and now TV Media Empire. Today, the 23rd of February, 2023, me now a host and presenter, of course, a familiar face, a familiar feature on the platform, Prince Emil Coma. Fambulem, we nation, they go through waves and waves of new happenings in different dimensions. This not the term where people are for be very, very cognizant, very, very aware, very, very vigilant, because nobody enough for provide any information for we to we, when not for big fool we. I make we eyes and ears for open wide enough, and we brains for day on the alert for able for process the information and where they come in, so that we go able for discern the truths from the myths. So anyway, like I say again, very special moment for day alive. Another election is upon us very, very shortly. And I want to start this broadcast with a particular play of a video. Now give me a chance Una get for bear with me as I try for find videos then for una for play, because this in itself sets the context. This in itself set the premise. So yeah, una bear with me as I struggle through this, because I've been try for set all the video play there and not easy way to do I'm alone. So we try to get quite a few. As you say, a good number don't rise up to the occasion. We get about 51 people in the watch. Remember, say, depend on who side you watch them from, me they look at total numbers. So I'm telling you the fact that we get it don't reduce to 49. Both channels, both on YouTube and on Facebook. You see, as I talk to now, my Wi-Fi they play up. My Wi-Fi they play up, and you can see the green screen, clear one. But let's see whether I can adjust the green screen quick. Now bear with me again. I'll adjust the green screen quickly. Where are they? I always get Wi-Fi problem, and this is serious. This is no joke. We get Wi-Fi problem. We can affect the quality of my videos. But I think say what's important now the audio and the level is good. So again, let me apologize for that, but this did beyond me, and probably it might happen several times because my Wi-Fi is really, really poor. I mean, my internet. So anyway, I want to begin this broadcast with a video, and I will play some short video them, and we'll do the analysis going forward. Well, let's do this quickly. Let me see whether I'm able to find the first video quickly without much ado. Let me try for find with first video without much ado. Like I say, una bear with me, and please una help for share. The number don't rise up to 57. Please help to share. And I know say with this number so quickly as we go into broadcast, which means that a lot of other people been wait for the program, and we start over 30 minutes late. So we've got only ourselves to be blamed. So let me share with screen. There's a lot showing on my screen, so please forgive me. There's a lot showing on my screen. Please forgive me. So let's see. Yeah, this is the first video I want to start with. Let's play this video for the
people want change. The people are tired of the suffering of paying for a bag of rice at 200,000 from only 60,000 in 2007. The people want democratic change to end their suffering. But what type of change do we want for this great nation? What type of change do we want for our children's future? What type of change?
Okay, so that first part day, and this will help for set again. We talk about context here, which is very, very critical to this broadcast, and most of the broadcasts they work can do. For the sake of, because Gigi's now another 10 people, 7 or 8 people on join, and I want to lay the emphasis. So I go share that video there with we once more, Fambulem, and I want for them to keep that day in mind, okay? I want for to keep that video there in mind, because we're going to stress on it. It's very, very important. Very important. So take note, please.
Change. The people are tired of the suffering of paying for a bag of rice at 200,000 from only 60,000 in 2007. The people want democratic change to end their suffering. But what type of change do we want for this great nation? What type of change do we want for our children's future? What type of change?
Yes. Yes, indeed, Famulem. So, una for yourself, and this is what we do here. There's nothing that we do here for mix up and box up. There's no disinformation campaign, neither misinformation campaign. You know, they are. This is not from the horse's mouth. I believe say the vast number of us are aware of this particular video, but it's obvious that some people may not be aware, and very few, I suppose. But I shall say all of those of us who they watch now and we get for watch subsequently, we are aware of this video. But just for the sake of setting the record straight, this now the current president of the Republic of Sierra Leone, His Excellency retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio. Then he was candidate Bio in a campaign for become the president pre-2018 election. So this was the case that he made. In this particular case, help them for calm na power. If we get for feign the right choices of words for use for brain kind of power. Because it's a strong case, because then there was no argument that the nation, people were suffering. Not on this scale. And we go left on the back for judgment. But things may not descend to something else, in which poverty be the creeping, lily. And what I mean by poverty be the creeping, it means say poverty be the creeping. Because yes, you get people that will serve that end in a way, then yes, go down cack and say, what is he talking about? But of course, because if you don't get the power of analysis and objectivity, the moral fortitude for discern facts from myth, then of course you find it difficult. So the truth here is again on the balance of record or probability is things may get bad then because of Ebola. We all know that, not so. So I know say some people don't come down now. Things that will be they depend on whether on a cash crop or minerals they will be the sell. And not be the sell any longer, or the price be not lost 3/4 of its value. And imagine if you lost their value then, definitely that works into the workforce of the country. Either people then lose their job or the quality of their life will drop because the quality of the money also don't reduce in value. So therefore, waiting they purchase and not they up to that level any longer. But not to that I want to dwell on, but these are just facts. So on that basis, the now president saw an opening, politically speaking, was a begin for making case. And he made the case well, and the Sierra Leonean people then listen. And from them towards the end of the program, I hope say I go able to remember in juxtaposing the position. Because what I try for say, if I can send a reminder now, is when he make the case then, it may relevant. Not so Sierra Leonean people then listen and then vote for him, and he became the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone, as he is now. But 4.5 years on, then forget for say that there are issues, circumstances which can exist, which can give them momentum there, for take place, where the quality of life of people can drop. But the bottom line is he made the case then, and now the case where he make is supposedly a case now against him. The case that he made for the presidency is a case that could be made, that can be made against him. Why do I say this? It's clear, but for the benefit of those who think, say, there is a way for sweep the rubbish under the carpet where you not go no side. You tell us what's the cost of living today as to when it take over. You tell us what the cost of living is today as to, a period of time in administration. Because normally you try for getting to grip with the situation and try for bring and calm down. Drive inflation down, give you money value, and give you money for get a purchasing power. But in this case, it is not. And the record speaks. What thing that happen now is the money that descend into a chaotic value in which it seems like the central government has little or no control at all. There are two sides, and the people then they decide as to the currency where they want to use for transact with, because after all they've got a choice. And when they've got a choice, what you will be understand from the beginning is the government they pull the two money then come out. I mean, they put them side by side for work, but now because then they give people the opportunity so that they can use the old money, and as they bring the old money come, now so government they fuse them out and the new money they take hold. So in other words, as I step back, you they step in. At some point, you diffuse me out because you reach a point where I can't go back no more, and you've occupied the entire space. But this is not the case with the money. And we know say the value continue for drop because we look at exchange rates, we look at inflation, we look at purchasing power, and many other things. And by the way, I'm not an economist. I just look at from a basic perspective, buy and sell. I know say, when I've been the same money to me people them, now so value the money being get. Now at the same money to them, the money get a different value. The intrinsic value is long gone. If you buy less 500,000 or 600,000, and you be buying 300,000, and the rates then now be 400,000, but now 2 million, you try for figure this out yourself. Things are not just right, but this is not to what I want for talk about tonight. But of course, when I read the president in tape, then candidate BO, making against another sitting government. Now this has come to follow him. Here is the thing. But today, Famule, can I just remind us that again, within a critical junction at the crossroad of we country, one green country, really country where we get. We don't say people like upset, people like vex, you know, the way how things they go to a point where people like make some remarks where they want to compromise the country. But the one the way you want to compromise the country, mostly not the one them, I can't say not the one the way they're outside because they're doing well, because we are just minority. The one the way they're on the inside are on the majority. But the one the way they're not the minority, they try for sell that idea to the people them inside, like say better go come. I think this is very wrong. So despite with difficulties, we for learn how to soldier on and become a consolidated force to a point where we make a decision against things then when they work for we. I hope you get me. Do you feel me vibes? Okay. So anyway, we know say election they come. It don't take a while we need the or waiting with the it sound really terrible. Terrible in the sense that the ruling party of His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, in party don't hold the attention. A long time ago, a year ago, they don't decide the leadership and then construct as to going forward with election. So in other words, tomorrow belongs to those who are prepared today, if we can go by that maxim. And at the same time, the other people and we pose a mortal. And when I say mortal, I don't mean I'm in a literary sense. Okay? I don't mean I'm in a literary sense. But a lethal blow to the ruler of His Excellency are the All People's Congress. So the All People's Congress, for quite a while now, we don't talk about this, don't they get problems of their own, in which there's been arguments, there's been injunctions, there's been confusion, there's been fightings, and you name it, all over the place. But suffice me for say, they remain steadfast as they talk about the All People's Congress, because there were, along the way, there were many temptations. And what may happen is, one side they blame the other, which is always the case. Let me give one quick parable. It's like say in a case of divorce. Somebody now you always they complain, you say when another person they are responsible. And remember another maxim that it takes two to tango. And after all, it's a relationship, it's a marriage relationship in which God ordained over we all two. I'll use myself as an example now. And ordain over we all two, and pray over the opportunity where we take for respect God in view, God in proposal, things the way God say that man needs a wife needs a man, and it's a good thing for a union to be formed. So that union is formed, and God come and bless that union day, and long shall the union last. And here are the rules of engagement. But when the rules of engagement they go bad, there is always one person where they blame the other, instead of both people taking responsibility for saying, well, I had my part to play in this, and so did you. But maybe it's not on an equal footing, but definitely both sides are supposed to take responsibility. But in this case, it's one side that has been, on the back foot, and the other side has been casting the blame on the other side. Say, you are responsible in terms of law and order. They say, you are responsible in terms of vengeance. You are responsible in terms of killings. And say, you are responsible. But wait till Salon people. I think say we all get brain, we all get yes, and we all get yai for C. So we can go back again, a little bit historical, and see at the change of government, waiting really happened. Was the transition smooth? Was the transition from one government to another smooth? Was it? A question. If it were not, what happened? What about those of you who agree say it not be smooth? I know say people, you hear people that will go say it be smooth. But let me give examples. When transition they take place, not all the time, but it's supposed to be smooth. But sometimes because of animosity, bad blood between two sides, it's never smooth, it's rough. But you don't, just get out. Instead of taking time, get out. Office doors, were locked in front of the outgoing. This is recorded. These are all facts that I'm giving out here. Sometimes, you're visiting the facts can be difficult, but if we want to be really truthful to a moral conscience and be, the powerful conviction in column, we want to be real to them, then obviously there is nothing wrong for them when they look back and they understand these things. Because after all, supposed to take from things a learning lesson going forward. Now, so it's man they do. Rarely things they happen. But of course, these things can happen. And if there's an investigation commission, a commission of inquiry commission for investigate the happenings. How did we come to this? Why? How? When? What thing do? So that never again, but for let it be never again, means say if you understand why the last one be happened. But long ago, we did not forget about this. We don't care about this. In fact, when we set up commissions of inquiry for different reasons when necessary, it's not because there is a responsibility and obligation to the citizens of Sierra Leone for say never again. It is because for satisfied with political whims and pretending and the hypocrisy in us for say, yes, we do something, whereas then results in they are null and void because they never get to the bottom of the issue. They are elephant projects. These are all facts. So offices locked in front of ministers, deputy ministers, head of parastatals, as long as you're going out, instead of waiting for transition to take place because you're coming in anyway, which was going to be of huge benefit to the incoming. Never happened. We saw a transitional report, okay? The accountability process, which we Sierra Leoneans accepted and approved of. But then sooner we began to understand that it was lopsided. Lopsided means one-sided. And we see all that happen. So let me play a second clip quickly for Fambulem so we understand. In the meantime, there is an appreciable number, over 100 people watching. We go appreciate if we can shape that 100 so it becomes 200, because these are important things that we are talking about. Whether you be APC, you be SLPP, NGC, C4C, and you name all the political parties, them about 17 of them, even though there are 16 tribes, they will come with a program very soon. 17 political parties, 16 tribes. What is the threshold there and the bar and the morality of such numbers? But like I say again, make I play one quick video for we wanna bear with me. Like I say, I get a few video and I'll not be able to align them proper. So I will continue for waste a second or two. But at least I go to do some talking at the background so it doesn't go in vain. Doesn't really go in vain. So bear with me again one more time whilst I play this for una quickly. I won't be long, trust me, I won't be long. I won't be long. Have I got the right one here? Probably. Yes. Okay. 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 Someone wanna bear with me. I think we get that entry wrong. Let me see whether we can come again. Wanna please bear with me. Let me see whether we can get this right.
Or their political party.
If you read the report, you find out that there are serving officers in this government whose names appeared there. They were investigated. So it was not only confined to, for example, one political party operatives, but all those who served in the previous government. And you recall that there are some people in this administration who served in the previous government. So you cannot say it's a witch hunt.
Public accountability is a cornerstone for a democratic system, and we need to hold our leaders accountable, and not only for financial accountability, but leadership accountability. We have been politicizing every facet of our conversation, linking to national development.
When you are corrupt, when you are in a position of authority and you are corrupt, you will not go scot-free. The investigation will always catch up with you. That is the lesson everybody should learn from this investigation.
All persons who were summoned to the commissions of inquiry, we are not summoned because of their ethnic group, their religion, or their political party. They were summoned because they had been entrusted with the supreme responsibility to serve Sierra Leone. So these commissions of inquiry should also serve as a strong warning to serving officials that you have a duty of care to make the best decisions and act always in the best interest of citizens of this country and of the nation. Those who may wish to incite or engage in unrest and violence in order to obstruct the process of implementing the full enforcement of the recommendations will be subject to the full force of the law.
Right. So that was the voice again of the president, His Excellency Julius Maada Bio. And they make it clear. Remember, at some point, I know they say the commissions of inquiry were not serious. But remember, I talked something about the transition process, the transition report culminating into the COI, the instruments, them, parliament, and then the foreign judges that were brought for investigate, all the people them who were deemed corrupt then. The National Reserve, when I say the National Reserve, I mean the consolidated fund was tapped into, and that cost the government a lot of money. But what I want to know is like I talked about this earlier on, and the reason why I play this clip is for jog people memory. For say, I talk about I'm not in a condescending or patronizing way, but in all degree of the your broadcasting principle, with a sincerity. For say this is what was said then, and I want for let family look up and see where we are now, because obviously we came from somewhere. And imagine this. This was just the beginning in which the president was absolutely serious. And I know they say not serious now, he left to for make the decision. But here the power nine voice, it is said with passion, a degree of sincerity that all persons and so forth and so on. And then you can get the former Attorney General there, I think Brewer, and how you call the leader for one of the NGOs, a man who I don't invite on the platform. Of course, he appeared briefly on audio because we began some miscommunication. But when we finally tried, because we make arrangement for Brian come on, he chicken out. That's not Mr. Sano. Mr. Sano chicken out. Apparently, he got wind of some story where we don't know of, because from that point on now, he not respond to us again. But here is the thing: the platform's still open. If you still want for come and can talk. But anyway, Famulem, that was the second video for the net, and we're gonna see how important and applicable that video is as to the national conversation where they do now the TNN TV media empire. Okay, so let's say we get a bulk of people that watch we on YouTube tonight, which is about roughly 70 people, 80 people. But please, let me continue for share. Facebook, we get about 40 people where they watch we. But in total, we number not too bad. This is important. But if you only watch now one side, then you might think that the number down. The message is important. So let me get to the real message of tonight's caption. And I know say there is a misspelling, and I ask again for forgiveness from Una, a misspelling of title for tonight. I don't know whether I can, edit them in a live program because this is serious. Probably I can. Yes, I think I can. GINN, not MM. Yeah. Think I've done so. Yeah. So yeah, I can play on the main video now. Thank you very much. The person will give me that thumbs up. That shows a level of understanding because it's not easy, It's not easy. So that's really appreciated from you. Thank you so much. Yeah, for your understanding. And Fambulem, as we talk again, we are on a we continue for share, shall we? Please. Yeah, please. Let's see. I've managed to do some editing. Will it work? Let's see whether it will. I hope it does work. The spelling is important because them broadcasts they're so important, they're so international. Very, very international. So then small spelling. At least you miss one letter, one word, but no completely, like what happened in this case. So now they can struggle and try for change them at all cost, and hopefully it should change. And that therefore do with beginning where I just observe. Okay. So Una, thank you for tuning in. Una, please let me share last see whether I'm able to get one more video for Una, and then maybe I might have one or two more, but I want to go to Anesco before Anescoroma in video. I want to stick on Marabio in video a little bit. I want to stick on Marabio in video then a little bit. So yes, let me stick on Prezo in video then a little bit. Let me just share one more. And the reason why they share this because it's almost coming to time for letting come vote back. Okay? It's almost coming to a time for voting back. So that voting back process, people in the canal can ask people and say, "Bo, una vote for we, either for retain we vote or una give we vote," because the last time they vote for other people. And when they vote for them, what basically happen is the people that still get our votes day, and then the people that they vote for can actually hold on to that vote day, or they can decide, say, well, no, we're not giving her this vote again, so we move on and take on to other people, and I make the other people and see if they can ask, if you know what I mean. So let's see something, and this is equally important, to be honest. And there's a reason why I will talk about it later.
The elections are credible. If you have a credible result, the process is transparent, free, and fair, we accept it. But anything short of that is unacceptable.
So do you trust NEC to be credible enough to carry out the upcoming election?
Well, their record tells me they cannot be fully trusted. So we are working to make sure that we are part of the processes leading to that. And we have informed them that we are going to be observing very keenly.
Okay.
That is, I don't trust them after the last election.
Okay. Okay. So, but do you then anticipate a rigged election come 2018?
Once beaten, twice shy. We had a rigged election, and for the sake. It's only for the sake of my commitment to the people, peace and stability of this country that I accepted.
If you win.
I knew, and they knew that I knew that the elections were not properly done. But for the sake, we didn't want to throw this country off balance again. I don't want a single drop of blood, a drop of blood for the sake of my own power.
But are you saying that this election would be different because, like you said, last election, you considered defeat because of the sake of peace. But would we see that come 2018 for the sake of peace?
For the sake of peace, if we have a rigged election, I will not accept it for the same sake of peace.
So
because rigged elections leads to war. So that means,
so are you saying that, people will go on the street or go out on the street?
That is for you to tell. I'm not going to tell anybody to go on the street, but they have a right to protect their votes. We will resist anything that is violent. We will resist any attempt by NEC to lead a process that is not going to be clean. I will tell you for sure that we are going to remain as peaceful as we can. We are going to take part in the process. We will just not accept a rigged election.
But going back to your earlier statement, so are you then saying that we should anticipate going back to war if you do not win?
Are you anticipating that they're going to rig an election? Are you encouraging them to do that?
Based on the statements, because we are looking at a situation where political tension is right, and for the sake of peace, we would not want to see issues arising.
If they rig this election without missing anything, this country is going to.
But what are appropriate measures to take? Because the point here is a lot of people are
Sierra Leoneans, take notes.
Okay.
Clean election. Let everybody see that the process.
The is ready to send our country back to another war.
That is all. That is the only prescription.
Like they did in the past.
Let's be involved in the
Fellow Sierra Leoneans, take note.
Be violent on election day. Let there be no manipulation of the commission. Let's give them the independence that they should deserve. So the only prescription is a clean election.
This is the reason why the proper thugs are out there intimidating people, passing people, doing.
Okay, so Fambule, apologies there for the voiceover. But having said that, I think we get the main point where the president will try for make day. And the reason back why I play this video, to be honest, is for a time now is very it takes of us to the participate. Use them for disinform or just come in terms of one side. Remember the analogy I make. Married couples, when them reach for divorce, either side they blame the other one. Say, when are you responsible? Are you responsible? Even though it takes two to tango, both sides get faults. One side might be more than the other, but their fault. But nobody really willing for take, that total responsibility. That total responsibility as to both sides. So therefore, this they accuse and they accuse and they. It's almost the same thing. So we hear say Samoa Kamara threatened war the last time we lost election. Figuratively, yes. And in fact, this could be realistic because we say they take election, na serious business. Power, na serious business. It costs lives. And especially when the leadership say, well, we not agree with the outcome, we not agree with the results. The point I'm trying to make here is both sides have done the same thing. Just like all over the world, Donald Trump is saying they accept the result. He even say, they come on at the White House, wait them, they begin for reach. But so for winch amount, say, well, you are come out. And for the country's sake, you are go. Most times in Africa, we haven't done that. And waiting can eventually happen, it descend into chaos, into conflict. We can consume an entire nation that the little gains they will don't make over a period of time can just all billow up in smoke, because one person not willing for compromise, whatever imposition way you don't take for say a not lost election. But you can see on both sides, and this is what Mario was saying in this clip, courtesy to AYTV, that if the elections are rigged, they preempt the talk now. If the elections are rigged, he's not going to accept it. And mind you, this was 2018 the election where it didn't go on for win. He's not going to accept the results at all. So I don't know waiting at the parameters or waiting at the method or the test, the acid test for proof say you lost or you not lost. Because imagine was so slim. Now he make the other side be the make was very slim. It wasn't a landslide. But in they say, if I not win, I will therefore take actions for show say, now me win this election and then cheat me. Once beaten, twice shy. Twice beaten, 3 times shy. Anyway, this was it. So that they don't confirm. So let's see whether I'm able for Fen and Eskoroma in video. But before they find out once more, Fambule, they play una this very important. I don't play them twice. I play them one more time, and then we'll go move away from this particular video because this video is so important and so relevant to a current conversation. I want to play one more time for now, and then we'll move away from that. Yeah, it's quite necessary. That's why I keep doing it. So please bear with me. Okay. So obviously, I'm going to move away from that video. But what I want to go to and Koroma in recent speech where he did, when we title the program EBK. For those of you who are not familiar with the acronym or the abbreviated letters, EBK means Ernest by Koroma, who happens to have been the former president of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Now, he left before the current president, His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, take over. So we talk about the qualities of a statesman. Waiting make you a statesman. Okay? Waiting really make you a statesman. Very, very important. How you conduct yourself, how you comport yourself, how you carry yourself, especially so because of your title, because of your position, because of your responsibility. You don't speak in terms that are sort of kind of a divisive. You speak in terms of cohesion, in terms of rallying the people together, in terms of falling together and waking up together. Not others falling and you waking up or vice versa. No. So therefore we say that in the light of the NDC conference, that the National Delegate Conference of the All People's Congress, a lot of things happen towards that way. Before we come to Ernest Koroma speech, what I need for Fen, for player, because it's really important for Lewi player. A lot of things happen along the way. And let's remember, say, the First Lady Fatima Bio, Ebinon say publicly that the All People's Congress, the opposition party, not forget a candidate, in other words, a flag bearer, until May. Election is in June. That's even less than a month, although it not specify a particular date, but the month, she was very clear on that. And the elections is in June. So they say it's not even equal to 1 month. What people need to understand back about the significance of this is the level of preparation. Okay? The level of preparation was not going to be there. So that gives the opponent, and in this case, the government, based on what he been speak from. But for put them correctly, that gives the government undue advantage, as the government is being prepared a long time ago. And remember, the government get almost everything in arsenal. And you, when they come up from the opposition, you are so disadvantaged that to a point, the only thing where you look at will really help you now how you consolidate your position by bringing your people in together, mobilizing your people, and so that you become a cohesive and lethal force in union, strong for move forward, for achieve an objective. But this wasn't going to be the case, according to the First Lady. We say this opposition party that they get, and we know say what the First Lady say. She's a very powerful woman, here from the inside, or probably even a party to the plan, and come out and say, well, I'm not saying this emphatically because it could just have been the First Lady just come out in your own analysis, just to say, well, I saw I see him, because after all, she's supportive of a man who wouldn't. But based again on waiting on, they go on the circumstances, the motive for either the action or what was being said. I hope I make myself clear on this. But anyway, the APC became defiant. Defiant in the sense, not of them say, well, power they go before. Circumstances begin for play out. Then circumstances, then they will begin for play out. Let them for go do the conference. And even the conference through convention where them go hold, even at the 11th hour, as we they understand, there were moves for what the move they make, which was very much needed. In other words, democracy was being suffocated by another element that had interest in seeing the convention of a rival not going forward and waiting at the motive there for disable you. It's clear as daylight. For this, if we've been going to court to a judge and such things been happening, and whether we not been getting, the physical evidence, but circumstantial evidence did exist, I'm sure that judge they go want for look at the circumstantial evidence will exist and see who will benefit from this party now they go forward. And not only means say not the party in power, it could be people within when they get away how they want. But in this case, it was minute, infinitesimal. In this case, it was the ruling party, of course, to whom this opposition party posed a threat. However, the party go to convention. Another thing will happen again if we don't watch patterns. Patterns very important in everything, whether it is science, art, and necessary. Every time we the ruling party can call things them in name and make things them for happen where they distract people them from the reality of the issue. They do that. They've been doing that almost nearly all of the time. Oh yes, they have. So here is the case. An opposition leader who's been in jail for quite a long time, to which many people have come to believe, say, in a political prisoner. Remember this, first of all, an opposition leader in jail for an alleged crime. I use alleged, then prior to which they can say after a verdict was rendered. Let me get clear. So I am not disproving that what was being alleged was untrue, but up to the point which was just a few days ago when he was finally convicted, everything was based on allegations. But then there is another side to this. I talk about opposition leader for the ADP, Alliance Democratic Party, Kamarimba Mohamed Mansari. Finally, a verdict was rendered, and I think he was jailed for 15 or 17 years concurrently. After he served something like 3 years in jail. I will try for bringing Deputy, who is a friend of this platform, for Kaipu for explain and understand how finally they came to this conclusion. What is of significance here is this man, a vocal opponent of the president and his wife, especially on issues of corruption where every Sierra Leonean don't come for no. Issues of corruption, highlighted by the Africanist press, the works of the Africanist press in exposing corruption on this magnitude, pan this government where they rule so. Everybody else, politicians and other social activist groups, the independent ones, begin to use the data, the statistics, the information from the Africanist press, because so convincing were these reports produced, reported, released, published by the Africanist press, that people began to hinge on it. Millions of people, they now know or think that what the Africanist press has been publishing in terms of evidence against the government is true. When you do financial investigations, one Lily and common maxim is follow the money. Just follow the trail. Follow the trail. As you follow the trail, a fever like snail, the young of a snail, a slug. It's called a slug. You know, get shell yet. You know, when they just born the snail newly. Slug. When they work out, it left the evidence behind. I mean, most things leave evidence behind. Snake. How then they follow snake, say snake pass here, or animals, then the one they look for animals. Then. But the snail is the one most prominent in my mind now. So I use them because it's so clear that slug, if you follow them, of course you go see who side and go hide, who side and come out, and who side and go, who side and they go. It's the same thing. Investigative journalism at its best, as we've never seen before in our country, that some are still mesmerized in many different respects, which is quite true. That up to this day, all waiting and left for do with the allegations levied by the Africanist press is now for cosmamicos. It's not for dismiss the guy. abuse them left, right, and center. And these are the very few and the supporters, the way they enjoy the crumbs where they for them off the table instead of a whole nation of 8 million people plus. But the vast majority of the people that we don't hear and see the Africanist press report, we get the chance for peruse that report. They are aware, but this report here, is a look confirm. If anything else, well, the onus or the burden of responsibility for deny it then at the other side. And the other side, Lord, bear in mind, they know the enormity of this report. That many a times in the past they've tried to deny it, but only to fall on their own foot, on their own vomit. They a stone, big stone, they manage to ace them up, only for whopping down on their own foot. That's what happened many a times. We see in we own time, in real time, an Auditor General doing the work of the country for the people. Dismissed on grounds of lack of professional thereof. Lack of professional thereof. An entire Auditor General will manage for bring and make the audit services Sierra Leone a force for reckon with, because prior to in administration, and I'm not dismissing or no offense all the others them way precede them. Of course, they all do their own little jobs, but it was merely, especially after the war, a little bit of a department inside the Ministry of Finance, a huge department managed for pull and commodity, broaden the scope for let it do in duty efficiently and diligently. And so she was doing. And it is now clear to us again, virtue and courtesy of the African press, that the job was being well done. And look at the correlation. Because these two reports then correlate, well, I can understand where people say, well, the woman I give Africanist press report. I don't agree, but I can understand why. But the idea that is correlation there also presents an opportunity for an investigation. An investigation that could have been and should have been conducted by Parliament, but the hand-picked official of the ACC, Mr. Francis Benkai-Fala, Esquire, then now begin for usurp the Parliament, the powers of Parliament, by launching parallel investigation in most cases, and in some cases, just take the case away from Parliament. According to Act 8, I wonder whether I remember that of the ACC, we give these extraordinary powers. But it cannot be above Parliament, a people's elected assembly. Can it? No, absolutely no. But this happened again, and somewhere down the line, they managed to sack this woman. They sack her. It constitutes sacking. It's over a year now. The panel waiting for elect under the so-called suspension, where they suspend them for can investigate the woman. It need for meet a certain threshold. It did not meet that threshold. And then dilly-dally, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, over a year. We're still going on. She's still not been investigated. This is what means that governments, including this one, and any other governments to come for strengthening with labor law them, therefore provide we with solid guarantees to avoid things that will happen both in the past, in the near past, in the near past year, and in the near future, will go potentially happen if them laws, their labor laws, them are not refined and reviewed and make them, they in place for protect citizens them. We automatically, you think say willy-nilly, you can just sack. Like 200 and some more people were sacked from Statistics Sierra Leone. Yeah, sacked. Given letters in A4 paper, no envelope, no dignity, no respect. We can go back and look where these people are from, but that's not the game that we are playing here today. We want to look at from a general perspective, a general point. So then labor laws, then they're supposed to provide guarantee for people them. Because if you don't have bread on your table, how much of a citizen are you? How much of a responsibility in that social contract between government and its people, vis-a-vis people and government, is there? Where the respect and decency for family values, have we any? Because we know say standards don't drop a lot. Not only on this administration, a long time ago, probably 3-4 decades ago, and I saw that my mama not able to put pamine, where with soup became, like fashionable, because first we eat pamine and fine fish, good fish, dry fish, and you name it. But then things became so hard. And now they talk about decades ago. And I've carried quite some age now, by the way, for those of you who may not know. This is the thing. So here we are. The APC managed for holding convention, despite all the odds. And we ask, because they therefore infuse and inject confusion into our head again, as if the convention will not go on. And it seems there was an intent in the convention not going on. Not going on. Because last minute of time, of course, Justice Fisher don't go holiday. Some people are not beginning to talk, say, this holiday don't long go, let not be say Justice Fisher na go so. Because after all, I'm responsible for all the cases them assigned to the APC, or 99.999% of the cases of the APC. But he's been gone on holiday. And also medical holiday, as I understand. So now Oscar holiday now we're so prolonged that other people then therefore begin preside over the case. Of course, in the absence, other people then need for preside. So in this latest case, in terms of injunction brought about as a consequence of an APC operative, for which reason we understand, say, if we not lodge a previous case with the PPRC, we're supposed for maintain, watch, and conduct the conduct of political parties, and wait for a verdict. And then it go to the court, and the court was only happy on the basis of this one man. And then they say the one man not powerful enough, but on the basis of this one man, waiting not being complaining. If he complained in the PPRC, why the judiciary not refer him back to the PPRC? Why would the judiciary want to hold the liberty, the freedom, and the justice of over, I don't know how many million people belong to the APC party? So I go, you're left down there open. But I know they are in the hundreds of thousands. Just the one man at a critical stage, and security issues as well get the probability of, creating chaos. Chaos. So you go see judges can use their discretion there. But this judge granted the injunction. And then later on, they try to explain the injunction to we in different formats, because after all, they had already fumbled with it. And what we understand now, that had to be withdrawn. But technically, and they inject words into RAM, we give some thoughts of animal farm, squealer. Squealer, where they go change the adjective, the noun, the verb, or the conjunction, and the blackboard, who side and write all the rules. No, say if you change and to but, it gives the sentence or the rule a completely different meaning. We make them an ideal case for lawyers, and this is what happened. But eventually, anyway, the APC did hold their convention. Convention was hugely successful. The APCians, this is a moment for you to be very proud, because it was an election other than the traditional selection. And overwhelmingly, you voted for the person of your choice. And we saw waves and waves of reds descending on the city, which in the district where they hold this convention, even making prominent places like the capital, Freetown, a little bit dull as usual. But anyway, they hold them. And what happened prior to that? Let me see whether we're able to fan this wonderful speech. Now hold on for me, please. Now hold on. All right, we're not able for Phenom. Let me take a quick break, and we shall be back. Absolutely, we shall be back. Family wanna forgive me. Yeah. So that this now the studio mobile. So as then they do work now, me host the studio then be host as we move from one room to the other while they work on the other one. Things they fall out of place. But obviously the message now is very important. Okay. So I've been trying to offend the honest Kuruma in video where it make that powerful speech where we believe that the speech was a very, very important speech. And it's a milestone. It's not like Sierra Leonean dignitaries, VIPs have not been speaking and what have you. But today, because we've been make comparative analysis, time, you know, I will talk about the time that we're in now, then it's obvious that we look at the story there, especially the Ernest Koroma speech, for make sure say what will they talk, what will they do, and the way how will they talk and how will they do them is in the people's favor. In the people's favor. So Fambulem, again, I will take one short break, and we'll come up from the short break. We will try for see comments the way people are send. Not very many, it's just about 14 or 15, just to see. Then on one side of the platform. And then we go forward. If we're not able to find the tape, we'll analyze them because most of we are here on the Skoroma in tape. So Fambulem, once again, this is the TNN TV Media Empire platform. We are Prince Emil Koma. Today, now the 23rd of February 2023, and massive greetings from the platform. This is not the hub of the conversation. Do not touch that dial. All right, we are back. I lost sound briefly, but I know say again the problem in the common area, but not been hearing me. So it's good to be back. So I've been talking about the Ernest Koroma tip. So I'm not able for Fenam. Let me just be straightforward with you guys. But that tip it go down in history as one way very important because it put Ernest Koroma on the pedestal of being a statesman in many respects. We'll be to talk about the virtues and qualities of a statesman. What makes you a statesman? Okay, not because you're not visionary, not because you see, not because you are all encompassing, embracing, and peaceful, and able to speak to constituents or constituency, and then listen and understand and move forward on them basis. Then not because you're able to make huge sacrifices for a nation and then understand the plight of people and look for solutions. These are the many attributes or some of the few attributes of a statesman. You get yai for see, you get yes for yeri, you're able for sympathize, you're able for empathize, you're able for understand people in case and look for solution going forward. You're able for make one and one make two. You're able for make peace. You're able for bring people and come together. You're able for understand situational analysis. And then therefore, you're able for provide solutions in their effect. So this is what I was saying again. So as soon as I can see, it's gone all together green screen, but it's not a problem. We go change again very, very shortly. But this is what makes you a statesman, to be honest. Nothing more, nothing less. Virtues and qualities of a statesman. Qualities of a statesman. And that's what the President exemplify last week. That's prior to the NDC convention, when he asked for total peace, when he asked for reconciliation. So he not only talk about the past, he also talk about the then and the now. So the past, the now, and the future. He addressed the issue in the. So outside and come out, they've been beaucoup sonko. People are going to court, people are take the party to court, people and tell them all kind of thing. 28 candidates in the last term, whether they blame him here, left, right, and center, even before when he win his own election. Even before when he win his election, people had a lot to say. But then the people that will get a lot to say, they not only stop there, they also advise and say, you know what, then people that will be they talk against you. Now for, disregard them, because after all, you have not become the president, the all-powerful. He said no, and he make a clear in speech. He said no. This is the time for reconciliation. This is the time for embracing, because a house divided cannot stand. Because imagine if you may take action against them people in the, it would have worked then, because in the most powerful man of the country, just like how President Biona, the most powerful man of the country. But you get to offend that forgiving spirit, that forgiving heart. You get to understand the nature of politics. Say, even though I'm powerful, the power in me, not a way I take advantage over other people who are weaker than I do. Because somewhere along the line, this go come and go. And where do I find myself? Where the face I get for team up for look at others in the eyes? How do I make my case in the future? But rather, the power that make we now for have a forgiving spirit for understand when people and they in need, how for help. When people then go against you, how for help, in the end, if you manage for defeat them, whether not in a competition. Even if it is not a competition, they have said something against you, how you know they hold them against them, how you for fend a hand there, for shake their hands, or extend an olive branch or a white handkerchief. This is what makes a nation. This is what embodies a nation. Not statements of division, between left and right, such as, well, the people have been on divide, the white people themselves have been on divide this country long ago. How dare does a head of state says that? Think about this. How does a head of state, the head of state, the head man for the state, for the nation, how do you say that? So you see whose wisdom they come out. And I'm not saying that the current president, has no wisdom of his own, because these are moments, where people they can capitalize on, and other people can capitalize on that, and other people then be hearing or understand the question in a different way. But this comes to make judgment in the now and in the future as to how you will respond. And as we say so now, we will look at the statements that were made then. Let we actually see whether we are able to find some of this video then, so it not happen like for say, now me just want for the see them things there. Let me be really honest with family. Let me just see whether we can find some of these, honestly. So we play them, left fumble Yeri. So I will talk about EBK speech. Let's listen to EBK speech quickly. Yeah?
The party movement with the and the responsibility of the one that we don't win will make them extend the olive branch, will make peace and unity day. Anything where we they talk, I don't practice that. The time when I win, people that are the party vex for me. They say then one day we take you in a court, then you enemy them, and they force appoint in a government. I say yes, I be careful extend the olive branch. I want to stabilize the party. I make the party be peaceful. Make the party be better. So una we don't win, and una we careful win. When you don't win, you will look beyond your immediate supporters. Because some people in the fence now say, I don't agree. I must fight for me flag bearer till the end. Because that flag bearer, they don't already appoint in cabinet.
All right. Yes, so when I hear for when I say, first of all, I've been trying for paraphrase because it's been difficult for us to find the video, but I don't think I've been there far away from waiting the ex-president say. He understand the vibes of the typical Sierra Leonean, and this now it take for understand the nature of with politics. That man we can only afford cookie, able for go na how they call it bakery, Sierra bakery, for go buy hamburger. but he able for go na Rodin Street or Sackville Street for Sidona attire base. A basic understanding of the mentality and the psyche of we people. It puts you on a level in which they understand you and you understand them. And there is this bond between una two. There's no bridge, or the bridge, did they? But at least there's a connection other than a gap. And I they say. So waiting as well we need for understand about this man is like he's been there for over 10 years, little bit over 10 years. The burden of leadership, imagine here was black when he got into the city. Yes, of course, he's aging, but sometimes that aging process can take quicker because of the situation where you find yourself in terms of leadership for carrying the burden of 8 million people. We saw that with Barack Hussein Obama, the youngest president of the United States, where he put on par with John F. Kennedy. But over a period of time, he began for gray, for carrying the burden of over 300 million Americans, and then you being the #1 richest country and most powerful country in the world with over 800 military bases around the world, geopolitics, and how you get to deal with other nations. Huge. Of course, we are smaller, but are burdened than they as well. So you hear and people are not beginning to talk, well, this one will be go against me now. Tell me they can't deal with her now. When does this end you? In 4 years or 5 years down the line, then you get for begin back instead of you make peace now and say, well, you know what? This naive will be experienced, but to win, somebody has to lose. To lose, somebody has to win. So let we make peace, because a house together will always be stronger than a house divided. And the house has been divided for quite a long time. And the house that has been divided is what others with no good intentions, and I know they say all of them, some of them had good intentions, but that's what they try for, exploit. All the things the way they don't go through over the last 4.5 years. Would I tell you, say this man of Tayaba? What else left for him? Now I ask this question, but again, this is not my opinion. The highest office in the land that you can attain is attain it. Yeah, you can say elect power, but elect whose kind of power again? Than being a statesman, you know, they fly now all about the country, although some people can try for downplay that. That's one of the attributes and values of a statesman, because other people recognize that. So then crown you and say, well, can they go observe other people in elections or whatever? And you sit down at the company of you comrades, the company of you caliber, the company of you kind, the company of your peers. That's where you sit now and talk and have conversation and make decisions or yeri on how to take the world forward. That's the position this man has attained. We need to understand that. He knows that he's not going to be the president of Sierra Leone any longer. Even if he get that intention there, nothing he can quickly dismiss. Of course, he's one of the most popular politicians in the country to this day. And this is on record. You see that every time he makes a move, you see the love, the affinity, the affection for the man. He's done all of that. If we do understand is, what he only tried to do for the last 4.5 years is a party that has been in turmoil. And for protect a legacy, he can't just abandon the party. And I tell you now this for free. This is exactly the case. For protect a legacy, because you get people them way ready for tear up that legacy day. Would they see him, even though he still remain some kind of official within the party, people ready for destroy that legacy day, simply because they're upset. And part of his speech where he make, that's what he's speaking to. He's speaking to a constituency, say, but we are not resolve this thing now. Time is running out. The business of resolving this thing is us coming together as a people, as a comrade. But not for being head of state again. That's not why he's doing it. Now for protect that legacy where people are ready for tear up. So he don't carry this burden for over 4.5 years. Mamikos, this in West Coast, and this that done the cost on left, right, and center. But here he is. He carried that mantle diligently, professionally, Presidentially, to this level, Usai, it don't reach. When I believe say this man don't they pray for, when he could able to deliver the party into safe hands, for carry out the work where he stopped, so that the legacy of the party and the enduring legacy of Ernest Bai Koroma, Honorable ex-president, His Excellency, will continue. That's where we are. That's what his intentions are. It don't take rocket science for understand this. And if you were to speak to him today, I haven't spoken to him, doesn't know me personally, don't know him personally, just from an analytical basis, just the follow waiting on to happen. It's about protecting his legacy. And any serious person go on reach that point in a way it don't hand over. And gradually waiting as suppose say we go see is how it recede into the background and become more statesmanly. No longer and if any within this party of his will understand that to run and ask, but the advice might just be necessary, that probably, most likely, you might see and say, well, it's necessary. So I therefore take the advice of the ex-president in the Uriampa speech. I have been there. You can't contradict that. It is true, he's been there. Not one term, 2 terms. 2 terms. And during his 2 terms, he was one of the most successful presidents of the Republic of Sierra Leone. And I repeat, despite some people trying to trash him, I am speaking based on the record, one of the most successful presidents of the Republic of Sierra Leone. And history is going to be kind to him. Remember this, history, I repeat, is going to be kind to him. I'm not saying this out of, how do I call it, some emotional, no, not at all. Now, it make we wait after all the adrenaline don't come down a little bit. All that euphoria from the convention don't come a little bit, where people are not begin getting senses back for think program. So that's exactly what the ex-president, I believe, is doing, protecting his legacy, protecting the party so that the party remain an entity and a force to be reckoned with. And most likely going on to win the next election, which will be the creme de la creme on top of a record of achievement. And that not the time where it go back off altogether and Sidon probably na McKinney now, maybe in a hammock or whatever elect for Sidon or for doing a normal regular walk in towel, in shoulder, just walking and smiling and brimming with smile. He's always wearing it this way. An inch, but only people that we get eye for go see them and understand say the reason why he's smiling like this is mission accomplished. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have some comments. Let me get personal with the room. So Abbas Kamara is watching all the way from Sydney, Australia. We've been on Teluna. We platform is widely watched. Whether or not 2 person in Australia, the idea we got people in Australia where they watch, Canada where they watch. It's global anyway. Thank you very much, Mr. Abbas Koroma. I said Kamara. Sorry, Koroma. Stephen Yale, I warned Richard Conte on your plan that he will not be selected. He was very confident that he will be selected. Okay, Mr. Nyale. I know they talk for Mr. Conte, but Mr. Conte being a reason for belief say he is the one. After all, he's a politician. So some of it is based on substance. And when I say substance, I talk about, it don't do in groundwork already. And believe say, from waiting in the area and understand based on the numbers that he will be the one. After all, he didn't come too far. And then they talk about the percentile wise, and they talk about position wise. I guess he was second. But you make a good point. Thank you very much, Mr. Nyale. Mr. Nyale, once more. During the election in France, the opposition did the same. They complain about the current economic situation. The people are smart and they know it's a global issue. This is where I beg to disagree and agree. Yes, the economic issue is global. In which case, before it became global, it was worse. And the idea is waiting to happen in our country is there is some mismanagement at a higher level, which is unseen or unheard of. That is the difference. What is being used as a escape route for waiting to happen is just waiting, you say, economic issues are global at this particular point in time. But what are you doing for maintain some level of sanity, some level of fiscal discipline? This is where the question is. And just for give the economy some sanity, or at least for let people begin for reason with them, doesn't exist. Why do I say this? The president in frequent trips them abroad. Against all probability, waiting at the net cost benefit in terms of staying and going, and the money then being spent. What's the cost benefit? And the money then went and they remove. During COVID, nobody not been travel. They are still traveling. Going where? Lebanon. For what? How did that benefited us? You tell us. These are the things that you need to know. And finally, another thing you need to take into account, Mr. Nyale, is this. The economic problem is one that you need for show some records, say they try for do some things for massage the problem, for cushion the problem, for try for show, say they try for help. But how do you try for show, say they help when you continue to employ people and they balloon the wage bill to a level which is not accommodating, which the economy itself cannot accommodate, but because of political dispensation, you continue for the employ people and they pay them fabulous salary. So I disagree on that basis. But many thanks for your contribution. Smart Major, how are you doing? Smart, we are doing well. Thank you for asking. Mem Mona Barry, my dear sister, much love, my dear. Hello, Sir Prince, Chroma, blessings. Now the woman will give me a sad title. Thank you, and I appreciate that. Delwyn Thomas, good evening from Northern Ireland. Good evening, Brother Del. Comrade Del, how you doing? Okay. Memuna Barry, Aki and Popo, Alusain and Alasan, two sides of the same coin, confirmation to what we have been talking about. Absolutely, Mem. Absolutely. Mem, hello, big sister Victoria Kabia, welcome. Victoria Kabia, welcome. I think say you and Mem they see eye to eye. Very good and solid point, brother. Keep it up. That's from Albert K. Many thanks, brother Albert K. We speak from the heart. From the heart, brother. Not to no. Abubakar Mansare. Let's see. Sanya Popo. Yeah, we come to the end of the final part of this program now. So bear with we. We just want to make sure say that it is an interactive program and we interact with the audience. Please help for share. We get over 120 people watching live. We know so we can pass that figure even on YouTube. Where is all our YouTube subscribers? 4,000 of them. And please subscribe to our YouTube page, please. And try for use the icons. Thumbs up, man. You can't have 120 people in the watch and then you get 10 thumbs up. You can give me thumbs down if you like. There should be some parity. Very good and solid point, brother. Keep it up. Yeah, thank you, Albert K. We have Abubakar Mansari. Amazing stuff, brother. Thank you. Yes, we get brother Gali Dowd watching all the way from Tottenham. Good evening. And can I use this opportunity for make a public expression of condolences to my dear brother, me comrade, me friend. At the a lost these things are inevitable. It will happen. I lost mine a few years ago and it was terrible. I can just imagine. Thank you very much. Yes, watching from Holland, NL. Yeah. Bravo, Abubakar Mansari. Yes, Abubakar Mansari, that reminds me about your book. Fambule will be asking about for show solidarity to we people them would you una try get a copy of the brother in book. A Sierra Leonean right book. We all for the clamor for the go buy that book day by now. Please get a copy and the information they right now the screen right now so you know go say you know see them. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Memuna Barry, true that a house divided is unstable. Very true. Memuna Barry again, the enemies within hashtag Sierra Leone will be exposed, disgraced, and brought to open shame by God in power. The only thing is that we have to be practical about these things. Free God will never come from the sky. It's about us here on earth. The living is dead and gone. The dead they're dead and gone. The living, we continue to soldier on. It is our responsibility. Well, thank you very much for that contribution. Stephen Yale, for 11 years, you cannot recruit someone to step into your shoes. That's a failure. Secondly, you cannot win election with 1 or 2 districts. APC will not win 2023 elections. I will come back and remind you, sir. I shall say, Stephen Yale, this is going to me because of my analysis, but just a quick one. I don't think say the man not recruit somebody for the 11 years. I mean, that's an understatement. Because I think say what you look at now, eventually the force way happened between several candidates, about 28 of them. But eventually, a man will not be come out, will not be talked about. Now him become the candidate, which means that the man down the way he groom. So I think say you make a fundamental mistake there. If you don't talk about the process that it wasn't managed proper, then maybe that will make a lot of sense, because 27 others made a declaration, come to and say we want for B, and he allowed them all for B. So the process, I don't think, was managed well. But a man who did not declare, who suddenly came from the shadows, it means that the president who was all powerful now in your Posinandi. And the proof is in the pudding. 4.5 years on, the same man is being engineered, anointed to be the man. That says it all, isn't it? Memuna Barry, the still picture on the screen is priceless. Thank you very much, my dear sister. I love that, which means that you've got eyes and ears. Love that. Look at me smile on my face. It took me quite an effort, to get it done and some thinking. And the fact that somebody see them, understand and appreciate them is very great. Abubakar Kamara, good evening. And what are they saying as well, family? Next time when we send a message there, I would really appreciate if we just put USA with the call from or message from. We will let for know, yeah? So Abubakar, I think he catch the gist and he is watching all the way from Morocco. Wow, Morocco. Hi, Morocco. How want they do the many thanks. Abudia spread the message in Morocco. Okay, this is my own brother, Samuel Bangura. Very nice, impressive analysis, brother. Watching from the US. Many thanks, Mr. Bangura. Very much appreciated. We own Destroyer in Chief. Don't continue for fly. Hashtag we move. Okay. Yusuf B. Kamara is watching from the United Arab Emirates. I told you so. Samuel Bangura again, cutting the wage bill is a way to strengthen the economy. That is quite true, because the amount of money when they spend on that wage bill is astronomical. But even it definitely go cut wage bill. But even if you not cut them, that shows sincerity. That shows effort in trying to cut down this massive spending and show goodwill towards the Sierra Leonean people. We get Alpha Kamara, good talk, many thanks. Sheku Sesaj, I hope I don't think I pronounce your name very well. Forgive me. Keep it up with your great analysis. Many thanks. Abubakar Mansare, teach us, Brother Prince. I'm trying to, but without you, there won't be no teacher if there are no students. Thank you very much for that. Stephen Yale, I bend to agree and disagree. For our country, in our country, there are serious flaws in mismanagement in the current administration, which has led to the hyperinflation in supersonication. I like the way you put on supersonic inflation. That is true. But this is the real truth. This is the real truth. There are economic problems and it is global. But how are we managing ours? What's the interest rate? How much you don't cut? How much you make? Waiting na the purchasing power of millions. Waiting with the sell, waiting with the buy. How we spend with money? All of that. How much company and they pay money? Lamin Jane, excellent analysis. Thank you, Mr. Jane. Sounds like a Gambian. No offense, maybe I might get it wrong, just the name Jane, or maybe I just get it wrong. Amen. Please accept our sympathies. Okay, that's a sister following the show. And this goes to Brother Bangali. Amen to you. Abubakar Makasare, God bless you. Mem, I know that's what we are doing. We are doing the needful. Mr. Nyale, very interesting contributions tonight. Yusuf B. Kamara, okay, those who voted will decide in June. Absolutely, that's what it is going to come down to in June. You are right, brother. Master AU, this is a new contribution. Let me see who is this. The picture is clear and the message went well yesterday. This government has failed, hopefully APC will win hands down. Well, that's the brother's view. Master AU, seems like now the first time they contribute to this program. I wonder where they contribute from. Okay, he's in Freetown. Master AU from Freetown, Sierra Leone. Hi, Freetown. Much love home. Memuna Barry is speaking to us or contributing from Virginia, USA. Thank you so much. Fuad Sise, welcome TNN. Thank you, brother Fuad. Okay. Let me complete this program. We need for really move on and bring this program to an end. And I thank everybody for listening and contributing. What we say is this. Everything has an end. Every living thing has an end. Everything that goes up will come down. There's a lifespan in everything. And not take this for me saying or say that the SFP, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that everything that lives, die. Everything that goes up will come down. This is not the law of physics, then, where we all don't sit on a classroom and online. So we get a feeling about that. But once again, we ask Fambulem for buy a copy of the allegory of Zangola. The allegory of Zangola. I've got my copy here, signed, or autograph by the publisher, the writer. This is the author's signature, and this is my copy. So for those of you, our fans, come on now. Now, so if they begin for support we save, please try to get a copy. This is good. Encourage we for begin for develop, for begin for write more, for other writers than we lie dormant, for begin for exploit the skills them in writing. So please try to get a copy. So you can get your copy of the allegory of Zangola, where you can read and you will find much fun in them and so much meaning. It's an allegory, which means you're picking and can read them. It's readable for picking them themselves, or you can read them as bedtimes to read them for you picking. And this is why it's important. If we can buy other people and book them, I don't see why we not can buy our own book where we picking them, including we self as adults, can actually read. The Allegory of Zangola by Abubakar Masare. You can get your copy now from bolcom.com or bruna.nl, or you can get in touch with me at thenandnowcommunity@gmail.com. You can send me an email as to how to go about them, and I will lead you to that, or you can get me number where they down at the scroller screen at the bottom. But please try to do. Now, let's wrap up this program. All said and done, I've been talking about playing video. Let's see whether I'm able to find one more video for juxtapose ex-president Bio. I say ex-president Bio, dear. I'm sorry, not intentional, slip of tongue. Ex-president Kuruma in video, as opposed to current president Anes. They're gonna blame me tonight. Julius Maada Bio in video. Okay. Julius Maada Bio in video. It's just difficult for offend violence, but I also want to talk about something as well. We catch me mind. We now the violation of the liberty and rights of Sierra Leonean, them in this case high-profile Sierra Leonean. We just got elected. We now the National Secretary General for the APC. We make an accusation, say them beat them up. Let's watch the video quickly.
They say the pullman in picture. I go with the car. I mean, the National Secretary General. And they say, no, yeah, they will go for one hour, go kill everybody. Yes, they meet the bomb gun, they give up, do the driver. What did the when I'm at how so you see that happening? I just show the car. We say, "Who's that? Who's that?
What happened before the president? Then put checkpoints there. Then I tell you, they don't want break. When we break, then come. They say they want to search the vehicle. I say fine. They begin search the vehicle. Let's go for Sidom. Let's go for Sidom. They beat me in my back. They kick me in my side. They tell people, they tell we say, na Mother Bio send them for beat me up. If you want to tell them, say, if you don't want to do me anything, I can go to Mother Bio. Make it go no send me in the national secretary. They say they don't care. Mother Bio don't get an instruction for beat me up. So they beat me up, and I want the international community to know today. We have to be able to identify them.
Right. So again, let me just get this off quickly. Una bear with me. Let me just get this off quickly. We need to get this off. Right. So again, when I don't see this now, another thing will happen. And even though when this thing happen, you know, some Sierra Leonean them, I mean, a man who monitor social media a lot because I'm a blogger, I'm a vlogger, I'm a journalist, and I'm very interested in everything where they happen. Because when I come on, I want to make my analysis, I want to base some on relevant stuff. So these are allegations being made by the newly elected publicity secretary, national publicity secretary for the All People's Congress, newly elected. And on their way back, I believe, to Freetown, according to what then they say. But what's interesting here is you can see the evidence of being manhandled, because even if this were to go to the police, and I suppose they don't go to the police, the first preliminary investigation of a look at the physical being of them and people. Yes, they're not explained, and you see buckle and what have you, and shed stone and marks and beating marks and what have you, manhandling, brutality. So obviously, police go investigate, take note, and the matter will be investigated further. There is a time, there is a place. There is potential identification of those who carried out the act. They said it all in the video. What is of interest is waiting people are not begin for say, which is the disinformation campaign where they go on, which people are not supposed to get carried away with. There is a notion by some people, of course, this is how irrelevant, and now they know the level of big fool, no insult. For say, well, then people are now play act and they play act. Of course, now they initiate the act just for put SLPP now the limelight. But come on, man. Even if they could do this, which I don't believe in any shape or form. Now, this particular time when they get the high ground, adrenaline, they run. They are in the most joyous of mode. They've just accomplished a mission which they thought was possible, but near impossible, and not so close to the time where they hold on, but probably later. And then the National Publicity Secretary just elect would decide for compromise in new position, you know, when they just elect to for this kind of thing, you know, just for rubbish the other side. Are there no other things that they can use? But come on. So they're not begin. But again, this is not going to happen because some of us have seen this, a physical, we see the emotional stress, we see the trauma in the people and when they talk, because these are the things that we are looking for. And then besides, we see the physical evidence of manhandling or torture or brutality. Only thing we are questioned most is the allegation of the president, the people and we do the act, being under the act or directive of the president. It's possible other people then could do under their own name, which now a second party tell a third party, and potentially a third party tell a fourth party, or beat anybody, the president, this, that, and what have you. So they could have been saying the truth based on what was told to them at the checkpoint where they were abused and manhandled. But unfortunately, that cannot be proven. It's just an because people can get beaten, the police investigate. The elected national publicity chairperson, that's a investigated, and I'm sure that will be investigated. The outcome is what I'm not sure of, but these are some of the things that are happening. Ladies and gentlemen, boku things don't happen in the past 2 weeks alone. The judiciary doing a 360. Dr. Sylvia Blinden, applying to become a NAC member and will not see no age, shape, or form. What is going on? The second runner-up, Dr. Kaifala Mara, the second runner-up, Dr. Richard Conte, Dr. Kaifala Mara, third runner-up, and all the others in pecking order. Congratulations to you all for win. Somebody has to lose. And in this case, you've lost. But your party is on track. I don't know what next. I'm going to keep my ears on the ground and try to understand what exactly they come up. But let us bear in mind that President Bio say that because the cost of living has become unbearable, this is back in 2018 for Sierra Leoneans them. So therefore, he make the case say the SLPP has to go, and the APC did go on them basis. Then because Sierra Leoneans say yes, will have to go. The president, they talk about the current president, he also make the case say because Bagres, they don't go up to this point, so therefore the APC will have to go. These are very strong cases them way the current president make, and on that basis, people are actually listening. Let's be honest about that. People are listening and then decide for follow what he say and what he then do. Then vote the president out. And they talk about Anescoma. Then vote them out. And say this man right. Will they buy rest 200,000, 250,000? The question now is how come now? Or I ask the question, almost not the price of bag of rice, almost not the cost. So if we know almost not the cost, then we compare until then when current President Bio be make in case, it's like almost for an now. So can the case be made on that same basis? They say rest too expensive, and so therefore this president need for go on the basis say they don't let we down. All the things that we promise we and not really produce them. And as a consequence of this, we are suffering. We are suffering, and we cannot afford these things anymore. What shall we do? Do we continue to support, or do we disengage with support and try something new? All of this is absolutely up to them, not up to me, but we're just telling them what the situation is, has been, was, and is, and hopefully going into the future, what's next for Sierra Leoneans then? Do they continue to suffer as such? Or do they make up their minds and say, well, on the basis on which we voted for you, this is no longer the case. And on this basis, we probably want to make a move away from you and maybe make a different choice. We will be most likely in a position for support and bring about this mess where we did into, which has not been helpful at all in any respect in terms of the cost of living, which is gone over the roof, through the roof. But the decision will have to be made on the basis of the Sierra Leonean people. Bear in mind that President Biose, the video is there. Probably in the next episode I'll play them. That I cannot support the people of Sierra Leone any longer. Imagine this is a president saying this. He's saying this on the basis which is clear, based on the reporter in question to Ram. The cost of living don't go over the roof, and it's a global crisis. And I believe that this is what the president was trying to speak to, that this global crisis, they beyond them. But when he say that I'm not going able to help me people any longer, and not adding that because of the global crisis, it seemed like he's abandoned his people. And the antagonists then don't capitalize on that for say, well, this game here, you get your bapa, and a game we not able, and if you're not able, and for pull on. Fambulem, we get many other things that they come on this week. We've been supposed for bring a sister. He said Regent Lodge. I don't know what in Stephen Yale. You are really funny, Prince. You are really funny, Prince. Listen to the video. Some say Regent. He said Lodge. I don't know which one of the video that you speak to Stephen. Anyway, let's move on to the next because we close the program now. Agibi, National Secretary General. Thank you. I think say they correct me instead of national publicity. So it's the National Secretary General. This is a very powerful position. I appreciate that, Agibi. Thank you so much. I think for transparency, justice, and peace, the government should investigate the unfortunate incident that happened to the newly elected APC Party Secretary General and his team. Absolutely. This man, a very powerful man. Very, very powerful man, even though they're not going to government as yet. But the National Secretary General for the biggest opposition party got manhandled by security forces. An investigation definitely has to be launched. So let's keep our eyes and ears open. Absolutely. I do agree. But anyway, having said all of this, look at his top in the video and see the pictures that follow. Regent and Lodge, same location. Come on, Prince. You clever past this 99. Oh, okay. I think say nearly they try for talk about the guy when they say they beat. Okay. So nearly, I guess you they try for say the National Secretary General for the All People's Congress when they make the allegation against security forces. Now in you they say, okay, if now you they talk about friends, but the idea is some form of abuse happened. The circumstances shows that this now is very important. And we all need for wait for the police report before they run to conclusion. But what we do see from these videos is people in the presence of the National Secretary General, we happen for look disheveled, in short day, in disorder, it not look right at all. He's a very decent man, always suited and booted. Okay, I've seen him a few times. It look not right. And people that in that same mystery, they really commotion and what have you, show people the way they beat with marks then at them back. So the location could have been a mistake. I know they say that that's this case. It depends on the video where they watch because videos have been doctored, which is intentional for make the thing appear like for say disinformation because they make one video for appear like saying this is very common photoshopping. But the idea is what you need for look at, did it happen or not? Forget about those that have been accused, but there's some brutality, applied to these people. Definitely, there is somebody where they show him back, where they show whipping mark, they whip him. It did it. Close off and what have you. That's what I want for you to pay attention to. The location, let the police come and make their judgment. And when they come to the conclusion, we go take them from there. Again, Fambulem, we get Sister Mariatu Kamara. They come on very, very soon. She's the APC elect vice president for the chapter in Dallas, Texas. I'm not be able for Biancam. Can I use the opportunity once more for congratulate a few people, and probably we can begin this with we can begin for do this by congratulating the chairman-elect within at the middle of the program, where you get His Excellency the President, Julius Maada Bio, and ex-president, Ernest Bai Koroma. In between these two men is Dr. Samora Wilson Kamara, where they come up with a profile of Dr. Samora Kamara very, very soon. We'll come up with a profile of very, very soon. So I want for let Fambul and continue for watch, because that will be a biography of this man Okay, we don't do a background already, and we are ready to go on with that biography day. So that biography day, they come very soon. There's many talks about the situation with Dr. Samora Kamara, even though he has been elected as the president, elect of the APC, or in other words, then call him flag bearer of the APC, but he still get Boku Boku case for answer, and that is ongoing. But in as much that is much going, we go try for bring somebody can help for explain this to we. We don't know how it look like, but eventually, when that person they can explain it to we go bring and come up and we will see what he look like. But again, congratulations to the team Samora. You won your elections. And I know say the APCians there, like I say, this is a proud moment for them to celebrate. No longer can other people and boast that they are having elections while you are having selection. In the 21st century, you are also now having election. And you did have an election a few days ago in which you elect your flag bearer. Congratulations to the winners. To the losers, well, of course, you're going to have to take heart, okay? Okay, there's one thing else where Stephen Nyale say where I need to address quickly. Now I know where Stephen Nyale they come up from. Okay. Stephen Nyale, now saw them post fake blood in 2019 at their party office. Okay, Stephen Nyale, this is something now I know exactly where they come up from. And this is going to be my last point. It's obvious that I understand where they come up from. So there was no fake blood posted in the APC party HQ. The idea that violence was unleashed on the people, they kettle them. Kettle them means you confine people to one tight space. So the number of people in the tight space is not equivalent to the space available. That in itself is violence where they create trauma. And if you get people in there with different kinds of sickness, they can begin ooze blood now their nose and their ears and what have you. But this is not only the case. Tear gas was fired towards them in that confined space. And some of them, it hit them, including women who exposed those things to the public. No fake blood was used there. We know say una come out with all kind of fake blood where una come out with the names and what have you. I still get an archive. This is not true. Now I understand who side they come up from. And this now the same narrative una they try for create that even though we see with we own eyes say people were beaten by security forces, una they try for say this not happen. This is a shame. Now I'm done with you. I thought you were being very objective and they try to keep an open until police investigation. But now I get you that you're now a supporter. There's nothing wrong with you being a supporter of the government, but you try to promote now on truth. And this is something that we don't encourage on this platform. And now that I understand where you come from, I have now dismissing all of your submissions or your posits. Thank you and goodbye. Finally, we take this from the violence is too much from this presidential guide. They should know that power will change one day. Okay. Yeah. So that is it. So this effectively brings us to an end to this program. And Fambulem, this has been a then and now T&N Media Empire production. I ask una please for follow we on social media. You can go to a YouTube page now, your YouTube page, and please subscribe. And when you subscribe, just like our other people they participate, so please try for participate in the program. We go try for read your participation live because we like for be interactive. But until we find out, just like Nyale, I wonder why I realized that late. We now understand why Nyale they come out. This false concoction of story in which Sierra Leoneans have been brutalized will never be accepted. It doesn't wash. And that's cheap propaganda. It's so good that you expose yourself at the end. It will never work on this platform. So when I go on the platform, I'm on YouTube, when I subscribe. On Facebook, you can follow we page or you can like we page. You can equally follow me on Twitter at 1PEK, where you go find very interesting tweets that day. For now, it's been a Then and Now Media Empire program. Me now, host and presenter, Prince Emil Kroma, they come to the 23rd day of February, 2023. And until we catch up again, which will be very, very soon, a very interesting program. One, most likely with the new elected national chairman for the All People's Congress, when I say national chairman, again, I hope say look, this guy they go with the same rubbish. I don't even know why they go watch that again. Sorry about that. What I do mean is like the party secretary general, the newly elected party secretary general, Mr. Lawyer Dumbuya, most likely will be on this program. We'll get another lawyer, Ibrahim Sori, for most likely can explain to we the situation with Dr. Samora Kamara. So we will dispel all rumors. But until then, it's been a TNN, then an our TV media production. I have been your host and presenter, humbly, Prince Emil Kroma. Until then, take care. Ta-da.